Hey everyone, and welcome to the first and only beginner guide you will ever need for Etheria Restart. If you're just diving into this beautiful and tactical RPG, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know to get a fantastic start, focusing specifically on those crucial early game decisions. We'll cover the best characters to roll for, how to manage your resources like a pro, early game progression strategies, what and where to farm, and a deep dive into understanding and upgrading your gear through a step-by-step tutorial to make things super clear. By the end of this video, you have a solid roadmap to conquer the early game and set yourselves up for long-term success. So grab your notepads and let's get going. Alright, let's kick things off with one of the very first big decisions you will make in Etheria Restart. That initial targeted SSR summon. First, I have to ask you, are you a waifu enjoyer or a meta player? If you're a waifu enjoyer, then here are all the waifus available. Enjoy! If you're a meta player, however, this isn't just any summon, it's your chance to handpick a powerful character that will define your early game experience. So, who should you pick? I personally recommend Xiada because we all know that foxgirls are better. And she's a foxgirl, which automatically makes her 10 times cuter and 20% stronger. It's science, man! If you agree our fox friend Xiada is something special, or if you're a proud supporter of foxgirl in general, show some love with a like and let me know in the comments. This ad has been paid for by foxgirl lovers everywhere. We will now return to our normal guide. The main goal here is to snag a strong carry unit, someone who can help you breeze through those early chapters and build momentum. And to make that first SSR choice even clearer, let's quickly take a look at our tier list. First up, and the standout recommendation is of course Tiamat, especially if you're new to the game or prefer a smoother start. Why Tiamat? She's a fantastic all-rounder, she scales with HP, which is one of the easier stats to build early on. She's consistently highlighted as the #1 pick for beginners. Tiamat is incredibly versatile, plus her kit is packed full of utility. She has a self-heal, can shield herself and allies, and when she transforms into her dragon form, she unleashes a powerful nuke. This makes her incredibly forgiving for new players, and a real robust unit that can carry your team through some of the toughest early fights and even mid-game content. Along with Leon, who is another free SSR everyone will be getting, will make your journey as easy as a walk in the park. Next in S tier is Lilith. Just like Tiamat, Lilith does damage based on a percent of her HP, so she will be pretty easy to gear as well. If you're looking for damage, control, extra turns, and want a character who can dominate mischievously from the get-go, then Lilith is your girl. She's often described as a fantastic pick if you want a high-impact carry right out of the gate. She excels in dealing damage and can significantly speed up your progress through all sorts of game modes. Another excellent and reliable early game carry in S tier is Hellkid. No, not that one, but they might be related, who knows, right? Hellkid is a very reliable early game carry. He brings a mix of AoE damage, shielding capabilities, and immunity, giving you both an offensive punch and survivability for your team. He's a really solid pick if Tiamat or Lilith aren't your preferences, and he performs well across multiple areas of the game. In A tier we have Xiada and Chloros. If you really prefer a super aggressive damage-focused playstyle, Xiada and Chloros are presented as strong raw damage dealers. They can be very effective if you build your team to support their offensive capabilities from the start. While perhaps not as universally recommended as Tiamat or Lilith, for that very first pick, Xiada and Chloros can still perform well and might suit certain playstyle or team compositions if you like their kits. Though keep in mind that these two might need more strict and better gear then just slap in an HP set on Tiamat or Lilith and watch the damage go sky high. Now for you support lovers, or if you're wondering who is the best support for early game, the answer is simple: Sanya. While yes, she might be just an SR, she is one of the best support healers in the game. The only other healer that you will be using a lot is Lingruo, who you will be getting for free after 7 days. I will be making a completely separate video for Freya after testing her, since she's a new character and wasn't in the previous CPT. But from what I can tell, she seems to be Tiamat's best friend and even works with Xiada and maybe even Chloros as well. The bottom line for your first SSR: prioritize a strong carry, and if you can, a strong support like Freya or Sanya. If not, Dorothy will work as well. Etheria Restart has many characters. Your first SSR will be instrumental in cleaning those early chapters, farming resource efficiently, and really establishing your foothold in the game. Tiamat or Lilith are generally considered the safest and most impactful choices to build that solid foundation for tackling early challenges and progressing efficiently. So that first summon is a big moment. Consider your preferred playstyle and pick that character that will most likely give you the smoothest and most enjoyable early game experience. The perfect golden team, in my opinion, would be composed of Tiamat, Freya, Sanya, and Lian, or any other DPS or support depending on what you lack or what you want or need. This team brings you AoE DPS, cleanse, heals, buffs such as attack buff and defense buff for both Lian and Tiamat, and revives if you happen to need it. Also, Sanya's ultimate that revives also gives up to 32 extra HP to Tiamat, making her hit even harder. Now that you've secured a fantastic starting SSR, let's talk about how to navigate those crucial first days in Etheria Restart. Early game progression is all about focused effort, smart resource allocation, and efficient stamina management. Get this right and you'll build a strong foundation that will carry you far into the mid-game and beyond. Talking about it is nice and great, but you need to know how and where to allocate these resources smart and efficiently. To help you with that, I've put together some easy to follow step-by-step tutorials for the two most important early game systems: resource management and gear upgrading. Step 1. Prioritize story progression with your stamina. Your absolute main goal on the first day is to unlock the story until you hit level 6 and finish chapter 4 of the story. This will unlock a lot of important things, such as valuable one-time rewards like summoning currencies, experience, and crucial game modes like Grim Pursuit, where you'll be farming shells, aka weapons for your characters, investigation, where you'll be farming for XP for your characters, unions, aka guilds, and threshold, your go-to for gear. Don't hesitate to use stamina refreshes if you need to push through to reach a specific level faster. The long-term benefits are totally worth it. Step 2. Focus on developing your character. Identify your main damage dealer, that awesome SSR you picked, and pour most of your investment of experience, skill materials, and early gear into them. Though keep in mind that there are missions in the charter that require Lian to be a certain level to complete. Once they're looking solid, then you can start building out your core team, including your supports and any secondary damage dealers. Seriously though, building one character at a time to a significant power level is way more effective than having a bunch of half-built characters. Step 3. Manage your silver wisely. Silver is your main in-game currency, and you'll need it for everything. Upgrading gear, character modules, shells, and prowess levels, and trust me, those costs can add up super fast. In the early game, you will think you're drowning in silver, but don't get tricked, and know that you should still be very selective about what you upgrade. Prioritize upgrades for your core team and try to avoid spending too much on temporary gear or characters you don't plan to use in the long run. Step 4. Transitioning your farming focus. Once you unlock dungeons like Terramaton Normal 2 and above, great for health and attack sets, and Doki Doki Normal 2 and above, your source for speed and bramble aka defense gear, you should start dedicating most of your stamina to those, with the rest going to investigation for farming XP cards to level your characters up faster. Always, and I do mean always, try to farm the highest difficulty level you can consistently clear to maximize your rewards. These dungeons are your primary source for better quality gear, so making them part of your daily farming routine is absolutely crucial for the long-term progression. After you feel like you're well geared, return to completing the story. You should already be level 10 by now, so you should be able to access the next part of the story. And now let's move to our step-by-step tutorial for early game gear upgrading. Step 1. Prioritize stats over set bonuses. In the very early game, don't obsess over completing full matrices, gear sets, or any sets for that matter. Instead, focus on equipping your characters with individual pieces that have the most beneficial main stats and substats for the specific role. For example, a damage dealer like Lian, you should be looking for attack percentage, crit rate, and crit damage. While for Tiamat or a support like Sanya, they want HP percentage and defense percentage. A piece of gear with excellent individual stats, even if it doesn't complete any set, will often give you more immediate power than forcing a weak set bonus. Step 2. Learn to identify promising gear pieces. As you start collecting gear, pay close attention to the main stat, which is fixed for certain pieces like gloves, chest, and boots, but can vary for others, and their initial substats. Gear that has multiple desirable substats, especially ones that work well with the main stat and the character's role, is worth considering for an upgrade. Start by upgrading promising pieces to +6 or +9. This will reveal some of their substats upgrades and let you see the gear's potential without sinking in too many resources into it. If a piece rolls well into the substats you need, then you can think about upgrading it further. If it rolls poorly, you haven't wasted a ton of materials. However, do not upgrade anything lower than a purple piece. I cannot emphasize this enough. Also, remember, speed is almost always king in this kind of games, and an universally valuable substat, especially for your openers and control characters. Step 3. Be strategic with your high-level upgrades. Upgrading gear to +12 and especially to +15 is very expensive in terms of silver and enhancement materials. So save these high-level upgrades for truly exceptional pieces of gear. Pieces that are for your main carry, support characters, or other key members of your core team. Don't waste these precious resources on mediocre gear that you will probably replace soon anyway. If you intend to speed test, meaning if you want to roll a piece of gear to see if it rolls into speed or not, you can, but as soon as you get 1 or 2 rolls in any other stat that you don't need, I suggest you scrap it if you don't have anyone to use it. Step 4. Always prioritize speed for characters who need to go first. This is a big one. Equipping your openers, your debuffers, or your crowd control characters with best speed sets and pieces that have high speed substats can be an absolute game changer. Going first allows you to control the flow of the battle, apply your buffs or debuffs before the enemy gets a turn, and can often be the difference between winning and losing, especially in PvP and those really tough PvE encounters. However, never try to sacrifice attack or health or defense in favor of speed for characters like Lian or any DPS that scares off attack, Tiamat or any DPS that scares off health, or Rahu or any other DPS that scares off defense. Prioritize their main stats over speed for them. After all, that's what the debuffers, buffers, openers, and pushers are there for, to make sure your DPS goes right after them or your enemy doesn't attack them. As I said earlier, they are who you should prioritize speed and effect accuracy in case of the buffers over any other stat. Their job is to go first before anyone else and make sure that everything is prepared for your DPS to take everyone and everything down. And that concludes our beginner guide for Etheria Restart. We've covered a lot today, from nailing that crucial first SSR choice and understanding the best characters to reroll for, to mastering early game progression, smart resource management, and the ins and outs of gearing and upgrading. We also walked you through some detailed step-by-step tutorials to give you a practical edge. Remember, prioritize your main carry and manage your stamina and silver wisely. If you follow the tips and strategies we've outlined today, you'll be well on your way to conquering the early game. I hope this guide has been super helpful for you, and if it has, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more Etheria Restart content, guides, and tips. Let me know in the comments below who you picked for your first SSR, or if you have any other questions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. May your gachapurs be blessed.